In John 10:10, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. And I have come that they may have life and that they might have it more abundantly. So Satan has been kind of in the background, and nobody thinks twice about him. Where I come from is a land of voodoo and black magic, and we think about him all the time. And he was in the book of Job. He was in Genesis as the snake. I don't want to give him credit because he's a defeated foe from what I know of the gospel, but how much of our suffering can we blame onto him?
Satan is I would say all evil, the actors are human beings.
Yes.
So if you look at every kind of suffering on the planet, it's the actors in the play of life, like on the earth, are human beings. Like you got Hitler, you got
all the bad guys, all the villains.
Also just regular human beings. People are full of evil, hate, road rage. Sure. All the evil that happens is the actors are us. But the world is permeated with demonic forces that are like studying us continuously to push our button.
Watching us.
Yeah, studying, watching you, knowing how you feel, how you look, what you say, and using all of those words against you. So if you ever just imagine when you say something out loud somewhere, and then it brings back to your memory.
Yes.
So that's you and the enemy combining together to make a power punch where the sin is almost irresistible.
Can he, because here it talks about steal, kill, and destroy, like he is looking to do those things. Can he send somebody cancer or, autoimmune, like our disease is his creation? Because if nothing bad comes from God, then it must come from...
Well, that's a big topic because it has to do with health, but cancer rates are like 1 in 2 now.
Yeah.
So that's not
ridiculous.
That's caused by
the world,
man.
You'd say, yeah.
Our toxins and the things we eat, and
so we can't blame everything on him.
No, but it's in partnership with the enemy that wants to destroy our lives.
Of course.
Like smoking. I smoked for a long time.
Yeah.
Why did I do that? Stupidity.
Yeah.
Peer pressure, and then I got addicted. It took a miracle of God for me to quit because I was a chain smoker. So I quit in one day. Where I couldn't quit in a year. I almost lost my girlfriend because of that. And then I quit in one day.
That's really good. That's powerful.
Why are we drinking? Why are there toxins? Why? You just find it everywhere now because the level of disease rate is high. The level of obesity in America and North America is so high.
It's skyrocketing too. It keeps going up.
Kind of food that we're eating. That's us, but then that's us. That's our independence.
So it is sort of Satan.
Yeah, but then Satan is using our independence, telling us, why don't you just make your own food? The non-GMO, create your own food.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then we find out, those are not good for you.
Such a cool point of view.
Yeah, why don't you know what? Look at that grandfather who smoked till 80. Why don't you smoke?
Wow.
You know what? One drink is not going to kill you, and then you drink 2 drinks, and then you're having 3-4 drinks every night.
So it's not so black and white. It's kind of gray.
Yeah, and it's just Satan is the ultimate puppet master controlling a lot of these evil players in the world, especially when you get to the higher level, higher stratospheres of political and political governance. But they're submitting to something.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're either submitting directly to a lie or they're submitting directly to the evil one. So when you go to developing world in Africa, there's people who crave power and they're into witchcraft. They're submitting directly to the evil one.
That's an obvious one,
because they have power.
That's black magic,
Yeah, but the power of God is so much greater than the power of Satan. But then in North America, it's less, well, I don't know, in our world, black magic is rising.
Really?
People are more open to it now.
Yeah.
But Satan is more hidden, it's more indirect. And it's more. I think the greatest evil is the idea of humanism, where we elevate human potential to the highest level. And so Satan is telling us, hey man, why don't you create nuclear fission, and then you can create your own energy. And then
we're gods.
And then we created a nuclear bomb. Who did that? Satan? No, we did. But
There was a
who
push,
planted all these ideas?
like Adam and Eve.
Yes. Who planted all these ideas? But it was fueling our desire to be independent. It's always self-sufficiency, independence, power. Like that's the temptation.
It's our flesh, right?
Well, the three
That's already
temptations
wanting
that
to-
Jesus faced in the desert. See, Jesus went through everything that Adam and Eve went through, but he passed.
Yeah.
That's why he's the second Adam. He said, create your own bread.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Why do you need to rely on God? You're God. You can make your own bread. That is what human beings do all the time. Just make your own food. Work hard and you make your own money. You don't need God.
Yes.
You don't need church. You know what? Worship. If you just worship me, if you just submit
I'll
to
give
me,
you the whole world.
you can have this power. You can take a shortcut. Like I don't have to go through any suffering. I can just, you know what? I bet you there's people out there, if Satan said, you just worship this kind of religion and you have no suffering, they'll jump to that.
The answer lies, like Pastor Steve said, in Genesis. So he created the perfect world, right? Adam and Eve, no disease, no suffering, no nothing, but free will existed. And our ancestors made some stupid choices, and now the world is where it is. Also, Pastor Steve asked the why. Why did I get cancer? And it was such a fresh new take on it. It wasn't God. He didn't say, well, God, maybe is a mystery. Maybe this was used so I could get closer to him. Suffering makes people run to God, whatever else I heard in the past. He actually blamed himself. Oh my goodness. Finally, someone with some responsibility. He was like, I ate junk. He said he ate all this junk in his 20s. I mean, we've all eaten junk, right? And we all know that some fast food fries, which I won't name who because we can't afford a lawsuit right now, but their fries never go bad, like ever. Not a single mold will live on this fry for months. So what about the food we're all eating? What about all the stupid stuff we've ever done or someone else's stupid mistakes affecting us? Hello, it's free will. Someone can actually come up to you and hurt you if they wanted to. It's that verse about sowing and reaping, right? So was it God's will to make you sick? No. He doesn't need you to have cancer so that you can reach someone in that cancer ward and turn him to Christ. He can literally just send a nurse that's working there instead. Why would he make you suffer? But, okay, I will say this, he will use it. He will use the bad and turn it to good because he figures, hey, maybe you're already there anyways in that cancer ward. Not that he put you there, but why doesn't he put this guy in your path so he can hear all about Jesus, right? So I hope you see the distinction. And the story of Job. Oh my gosh, the amount of times people, including myself, by the way, used this book and ignored every other book, like the Gospels, accounts of Jesus himself, drives me crazy now. I just wanted to rip out that book back then and create my own Bible, which is how cults are started, by the way, so don't do that. I didn't read it to the end. Also, that's important. I didn't read the book of Job to the end. The beginning and middle was like enough. I was like, that's it. This God is so crazy. He just let Satan walk into heaven, stroll in there like they're besties, and then he says, okay, do it. Do whatever you want to my beloved creation. I just checked out. But I miss where God actually had a conversation with Job and was like, look, you don't know anything. He was saying, where were you when I created this and all that stuff? I think he was telling Job that from the beginning, man fell. And yet Job's point of view, like all of ours, was so minute, right? He saw it of this like little pinhole. But like Steve said, God saw it as a whole, the whole time-space continuum. Is that a real word? I feel like that's from Marvel. Anyways, Job's friends were wrong too, he says. It wasn't punishment at all these bad things that happened to Job. And then God blesses him with so much more. So now I take the book of Job, I take it as God saying, no matter what Satan throws at you and takes from you, I will reward you double. Just keep looking at me and not the storm. And no, he's not saying I'm going to reward you in heaven because Job was still on earth when he was blessed with more, remember?